I'm Mackenzie Roth. Welcome to All Indiana Bets. It's all about the NFL.
My name is Jason Hammer. Shout out to all my degenerates that got up this morning and bet on the Atlanta Falcons.
Hey everyone, I am Scott Long, and we are here to make you all the money you have lost in the stock market.
Yeah!
Let's do it. Let's go.
Let's go.
This is All Indiana Bets, presented for the people, powered by Caesars Sportsbook and LUNAZUL Tequila. Feed the wolf.
Welcome to All Indiana Bets. Happy Sunday, fun day. Nowhere else we'd rather be, or no one else we'd rather be spending this time with than you. Jason Hammer, Scott Long. How you guys feeling?
I love it when the Colts play Baltimore.
Yes.
Because even though the Ravens have won a couple championships on their own, you know they would give their firstborns away to have that horseshoe back in their own city.
That's right.
Nothing brings me more joy than reminding Baltimore fans we stole your football team.
That's right. That's right. We did. Hey, Monday Night Wish TV is your home to watch the Colts take on the Baltimore Ravens. Watch the Monday Night Football game right here on Wish TV. This is huge. Our entire team is there. Actually, their flight got canceled, so they drove.
Yes.
Yeah, we can't wait. They have impeccable coverage.
As someone who has been a stand-up comedian for 30 years, traveling the roads like a trucker who tells dirty jokes, no sympathies to your crew. I've made that drive many times. Though I'm excited to watch it on Wish TV Monday night.
Coverage starts at 4.
At 4 till, gosh, that's a long
That's
coverage.
team coverage, baby. Team coverage.
That's how we do it. That's right. It's going to be awesome. All right, so let's talk about the Colts.
I think this is going to be an interesting game from a perspective that the Colts want to establish the run, but Baltimore, their bread and butter is defense, right? So we're going to pick this game coming up in just a little bit. I know we got a full slate of games ahead of us today, but I'm going to pick this game in just a little bit. But before I do that, I feel like we need some more information.
We certainly do. Joining us this morning from Baltimore, our very own Anthony Calhoun, AC, with the check down.
Yeah, guys, hey, thanks a lot here with our Colts insider, Zach Kiefer. We're getting ready for that big game, as you mentioned, coming up tomorrow right here on Wish TV, the Colts against the Ravens. And I know all those folks who got their eye on this game have a lot of questions, so let's try to answer them. First things first, this Colts team coming off a great win, their best win of the season, their only win of the season, that is. Put in perspective how this team feels going into tomorrow night's game.
I can tell you, AC, they feel a lot better going into this one than they did Miami because it's just time to get a win. That's what Frank Reich said. It was time. They hadn't won since Week 17 of last year. They hadn't won with Carson Wentz. All of that matters, and they're starting to get a little bit healthier. Chris Reed's playing great at left guard. I think this is a team that actually sets up pretty well against the Ravens. Number one being they stop the run.
Yeah, they do stop the run, and this is a team as well, a huge underdog here at M&T Bank Stadium coming up tomorrow night. Almost, what, 6.5 point underdog?
That's a huge number.
Yeah, if you're a Colts member of that team, you got to welcome this, right? Bring it on, right?
Yeah, and if you, I mean, the Colts are 7-point dogs on the road and are the biggest game of their season so far. Frank Reich's teams tend to play well in primetime games. Don't forget that. And with the extra day, they've been able to get a little bit healthier. I kind of like the Colts from the betting perspective because it's such a big number. Okay,
and so you look at the Colts situation, injury situation for this team. Braden Smith, 4th straight game, he's not going to be able to play. You got Kwity Paye with that hamstring. He's out as well. Rock Ya-Sin, he's out. And then they got a huge challenge dealing with this quarterback, Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, the good news is the main two guys, Grover Stewart and DeForest Buckner, will be good. Kamoko Toure, remember, had 2 sacks last week. He is going to be good to go on Monday night, and he's huge. This is a guy that can chase down Lamar Jackson. But really the one thing that no one's talking about is the ankle of Darius Leonard. It's getting better, and he was faster last week in Miami, and 53 is enormous on Monday night because he is going to be the spy on number 8, Lamar Jackson. He's going to have to chase him sideline to sideline. If the ankle feels good, the Colts have a shot.
All right, Zach Kiefer, of course, always sound like it is, our Colts insider. We'll send it back to you guys in the studio, but we can't wait. Monday Night Football here on Wish TV, Colts and the Ravens.
All right. That's how it's done.
That was better information than we've ever had. That's not what we do here. If you've never seen our show before, we give you winners. We have both been on fire. We'll talk about that.
That's right. We make you money.
We make you money. We have drinks. We laugh. We tell jokes. They're sometimes appropriate. But here's what I'm going to tell you right now. My man, Jason Hammer, I think you're 67% from the point spread in the NFL. What do you got on this game today?
So, unfortunately, I'm looking at the Ravens at home here. Minus 6.5, 7 in some spots. When you look at the last 4 games the Ravens have had at home, they've covered the spread in every single one of them. Both teams are beat up. The Ravens are down to their 3rd string practice squad running backs here, but the Colts offensive line is banged up too. And we saw in week 1, this is a Colts team, although defensively they're not horrible, they have problems with mobile quarterbacks. You saw what Russell Wilson was able to do against Indianapolis. And unfortunately, the Ravens at home with one of the best mobile quarterbacks in the league in Lamar Jackson. I remember being in Lucas Oil Stadium a year ago. I think that was a better Colts team than we see now. And Lamar Jackson was able to have his way with Indianapolis. That was in Indy. This is in Baltimore. It kills me to say this because I can't stand the Baltimore Ravens, but it's all about the cash money. And one of the bets I'm making in this game is Ravens to cover 6.5 at home. Primetime game, they're just tough at home.
All right. Hey, you know, we do prop bets, and we have a lot of those coming up later. Do we have one for the Colts game?
We do.
All right.
And just so I don't get accused, of being a Colts hater by people in my own hometown, let's talk about Jonathan Taylor here. This is a prop bet you can get a lot of places right now. Over or under 13.5 carries for Jonathan Taylor. This feels like a home run right here because the Colts have to get him involved. Last week, big game for Jonathan Taylor, was able to break a couple big runs. And this number is the lowest I've seen all year. We've been tracking his over-unders on carries since we started this program. I like over 13.5 carries for Jonathan Taylor here. There's a good chance you could get half of those in the first quarter. I seriously doubt the Ravens pull away to the point to where the Colts have to abandon the run. So go over 13.5 carries for Jonathan Taylor here. A $20 bet pays out not quite double money, but it's awful close.
Okay, I like that a lot. I like that a lot. All right, let's talk some other games. What about Bills-Chiefs?
This is the big game.
Yeah.
I mean, it's Sunday night. We've got the Bills, the Chiefs, probably the 2 most explosive offenses, at least in the AFC, if not in all the NFL. The Chiefs have been on this major slide against the spread. They win games, but they've all been tight. The Bills have been the most dominated team outside of week 1 in all the NFL. They've been over 13 points they've been covering. So what I would share with you is I love the Bills in this situation. I think the Chiefs are a bit of a fraud. They haven't played great competition. This is probably the best team right now, the hottest team in the NFL, the Bills. I don't think they're a mirage. They almost did it last year. I would take the Bills here, take it to the bank. I know there's someone sitting next to me who might disagree, though.
So here's what we've learned about the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yes.
They don't cover an awful lot. But with the Chiefs, because they've been so good, because they have one of the best quarterbacks in the league, the best tight end, one of the best wide receivers, it's been massive numbers. This is less than a field goal here, and you're at home, a great home field advantage. I think the Las Vegas odds makers are starting to understand Chiefs are not going to cover big numbers, so we're going to make that much smaller. If you buy into home field advantages worth a field goal, your toes are tapping here. I'm going against all of the science, everything we know about the Kansas City Chiefs. I think they hear the press saying maybe their time is done, maybe they're not the team to beat in the AFC West. This is a statement game for Kansas City. They're at home. I'll lay the 2.5. I've got the better quarterback in this matchup, and Patrick Mahomes. I got the Chiefs tonight.
Look at us both, Mackenzie. Here's pro-science, here's anti-science. We should have a bet. I've got an idea, because we do bets here. If you've not seen this show, we do challenges.
We do betting here?
We do betting.
Oh, my God.
The 2 of us.
Yeah, the 2 of you need a bet. Okay, I like this, between the boys.
And I know you love the photo challenges.
I certainly do.
We are going to go old school. My idea is glamour shot, like an 80s kind of photo.
In a swimsuit. In a swimsuit.
No, you always
you
push
do a
this-
one-piece?
No, why are you the one getting us in swimsuits? Like, I'm pretty sure if I check Twitter, which of the three of us do you want to see in a swimsuit? It ain't going to be the Beach Grove kid or the Iowa product.
No.
Let's do this. Make your bet. Okay.
Okay, so I am on the Bills. You are on the Chiefs. We are going to do some kind of glamour shot.
I love it.
That we will be showing next week
Deal.
on the
Okay,
NFL
this
show.
is
Deal.
I
Glamour
mean-
shot challenge is on like Donkey Kong.
Yes, you know, Scott's pretty confident because Mr. Scott Long is on fire. I mean,
Oh,
let's take
man.
a look at these records, shall we? Scott, you want to go first?
I always like, this is the part of the show where I put my glasses on so I can
It's
look
like his
in.
ultimate flex.
It is.
Yeah,
And
okay.
I love looking at these records, these
Yeah.
rhetoric. And just so you know, my college is even more on fire. I almost was 5-0 yesterday.
Like, fire is not as hot as
No.
Scott is at picking games right now.
I didn't even come home. I just came right to work. This is like my club shirt. I was at the club. I was getting bottle service. I think
Yes.
it was Claude
He was doing
Nanny's.
Urban Meyer things.
He is just rolling this
I
one.
was. Is
That's
Claude
right.
and Annie's even open? I don't even know. Probably not. They're probably somewhere with Chi-Chi's. But what I would tell you is follow my college picks. NFL, my friend here, doing great with the NFL. What are yours, Jason?
Yeah, let's take a look at hammers.
Okay, so
Okay.
last week, not too shabby. It was a winning weekend, but overall 12-6.
That is
We'll
Okay.
take 12-6 every single day of the week here.
Yes.
And I'm excited for this slate of games today because, again, Colts are off today.
Yeah.
Right.
You can sit back, crack open a few tall boys, put the feet up. You can watch the Red Zone channel. You can watch your favorite
Right.
game. And get your sports book app ready to go because we're going to give some more picks throughout the show.
This is great. I love it. We're going to head to the bar momentarily, but coming up, actor Scott Wolf, he's going to try his hand at magic, while Penn from Penn & Teller tries his hand at the news. Now, I caught up with the two stars of the CW to find out their betting ways. It's up next. Welcome back. We're so glad you're here. You know, season 3 premiere of Nancy Drew kicked off right here on Wish TV, and I caught up with actor Scott Wolf and special guest star Penn Jillette from Penn & Teller to talk a little magic and see if they can make any magic happen when it comes to betting.
I don't drink and I don't gamble. I've never done either in my life. I'm essentially a Mormon without God.
Scott, what about you? Have you ever placed a bet? And who are your teams?
I have placed a bet. I love sports. I love sporting events. I'm the anti-Penn in this space, I suppose.
And what team are you rooting for?
I grew up in New Jersey. I'm a New York Giants fan.
Okay.
Which is, go Giants. It can be a struggle, but I believe.
Childhood crush, Scott Wolf from, do you remember Party of Five, the show? Oh my gosh, he looks the same. He hasn't aged a bit. Thank you, sir. All right.
My childhood crush was Penn Jillette. A lot of people don't know. He is total magic to me.
How does a
And
guy that makes a living in Vegas not gamble or
Penn
drink?
and Teller fool us. It's cool they did that crossover with the CW right here on Wish TV,
Yes,
so they
it
guest starred
did.
on each other's. You like a little magic?
I'm going to try to bring some magic.
Yes.
Now, for some of you that don't understand how over and unders work, just quickly, you got 47 points like in the Browns-Chargers game. If it goes over 47 and you bet over, you win it. Guess what? I'm under. I want this game to stink offensively, just like the Vikings and the Browns did last week. I feel like the Chargers played their best game. Maybe they're going to play all season last week. They looked wonderful, but I think they're going to be a little flat. They have no home favorite ability at all. I would be on the Browns, but I'm concerned about Baker Mayfield's left shoulder, which I think he writes checks from his abs that he is constantly doing. It's very weird. I don't understand the whole thing, but Baker Mayfield is my mom's favorite player ever. She lives in Oklahoma.
Oh, yeah?
I call her my mom's favorite son.
I
And
love that.
I'm very resentful to him. I hope he stinks today. I hope Herbert does. Go with the under 47.
You are the man from a land of unders.
Undoes. I like
Get that
a lot.
Vegemite sandwich ready to go. Scott's ready to roll with the under.
You know what else Scott's ready to do? He likes to do the long shot. It's his favorite thing.
best part.
Yes, it's
Of the
Scott's
show.
long shot. It's coming up, the Caesar Sportsbook long shot. Stay with us. Cheers.
Cheers. Let's go.
Woo!
Let's make some money.
All Indiana Bets, presented for the people, powered by Caesar Sportsbook. The Long Shot, presented for the people by Caesars Sportsbook.
I am for the people. The Caesars Sportsbook, which sponsors it. They're like, who is the people's champion of betting? Me.
The people's champion.
Yeah.
Now, last week, I told you not only bet on the Jets. You remember this, Hammer? I said, sprinkle some money on the money line. Because
You were mocked. You were laughed at.
yes.
I laughed at myself. There was no reason to bet on the Jets. So they won a game. Who is now the undisputed stink bomb of the NFL? It's the Jaguars. They are not only bad off the field, but on the field, they're bad off the field, as we'll get into later. No reason, again, for me to pick the Jaguars. I'm picking the Jags. They're 4.5-point underdogs at home in a divisional game against a Titans team I don't believe in. I actually think the Colts are a better team than the Titans. Yes, I know the Titans beat. It's going to turn around. I'm not a Colts homer. I think the division stinks. I think there's a good chance the winner will have 8 wins and 9 losses in the AFC South. It's embarrassing, but take the Jags today. Thank me later when you see me at your local grocery store shaking the most expensive produce.
Yeah.
You don't need him to win. You need him to hang around. You need Trevor Lawrence to make a little progress, which I think he's doing.
And don't sprinkle the money line on this one. That's too much.
And he's making it rain avocados at your local grocery store. I like that. Okay.
So you mentioned Urban Meyer.
Right.
He's had an interesting 7 to 8 days, to say the least.
I like
so. Here's what we're going to do, Mackenzie. I'm going to spring this on you. You don't know about this, and I'm probably going to get fired for it. Let's do a little role playing here.
Okay.
I'm going to play the role of Urban Meyer. You will play the role of the lovely Shelley Meyer.
Okay, now can I stop a second and just say, keep it on a 2-shot. So if we have to do this show just with me next week, I was never part of this. I'm quiet now. Please do whatever.
Okay.
I wish you'd clear these things.
Okay, so I'm Shelley.
You're Shelley, because I'm legitimately curious how you would respond. Okay. So I'm Urban Meyer. Here we go. And scene. Look, honey, I was at a bar. It was late. I was just sitting there. Chicks were grinding on me. I'm like Urban Cowboy, but I'm Urban Meyer. They want to ride the mechanical bull that is this big, hairy American football winning machine. And I know we haven't won many games, but I'm making a lot of money. I was giving the people what they want. Find it in your heart to forgive me.
I'll make you a deal. All right. I'm going to support you on social media. But in real life, you're dead to me, okay?
Oh, okay.
So you know that 6-year deal, give or take 36 million?
Yes.
3 of those years are for you. 3 of those years are for me. 36 million makes mama look the other way.
Oh.
But don't you think that I won't be texting Dan Marino at 3 in the morning, okay?
Deal.
We good? We good?
Deal.
We're
Deal.
good. We're good.
Love you. Thank you.
You know what?
And scene.
I feel like there was some method acting there. Like you had done this before with Crystal. Crystal Hammer.
And by the way, can I point out that of all the people in Florida, you chose to call at 3 in the morning. Dan Marino.
We're dragging Marino into the
Dan
story.
Marino's innocent name being dragged through the mud by Shelley Meyer over here.
You know, kudos to Shelley, though. She's taking the high road. She's doing what,
Kudos to
she's
Shelley.
got to
Yeah,
do.
she put out a very supportive tweet. I think she got off of social media afterwards. But I was just curious, how much of that do you think was BS and how much of that was legit?
You better believe Mama's going to be shopping.
Let's take a look at a game here. Scott did his long shot earlier.
Yeah.
I like a team getting more points than the long shot today, and this is the Chicago Bears. And again, it pains me to say this because I've got a lot of friends who are Bears fans, and to every single one of them, every day is like 1985. 5.5 is just too many here. This is more, for me, a fade against the Raiders than it is me believing in the Bears. I even reached out to my Bears fan friend, Mr. Rob Kendall, Mr. Bear fan, and he said, "Are you a moron for taking the Bears?" Yes, I am. I am that moron because this is too many points. I do think Justin Fields is a work in progress. I'm not sold on him completely, but what the Bears are going to try to do is run the ball, move the chains, roll Justin Fields out, and the more you do that, that clock ticks and ticks and ticks. If you can just get a couple stops, if you can just hang around, 5.5 is a big number here. I will take the Bears. That is one of my upset picks today.
I like that, doing the Super Bowl shuffle back to the 80s.
Every day is 1985 for a Bears fan.
That's awesome.
Every day.
Every day, I like it. Well, hey, coming up, it's the Larceny Lock. You don't want to miss out. We'll be right back.
The Larceny Lock is brought to you by Larceny Bourbon. Steal a taste.
That's right. Welcome back to All Indiana Bets. All right, let's do the Larceny Lock, shall we?
All right. So I want to talk a little bit about the New Orleans Saints here.
Ooh.
With Jameis Winston, quarterback of the Saints, this is the Russian roulette of all NFL quarterbacks. You spin the chamber, you never know what you're going to get. You could get 3 touchdowns, 350 yards. You could get 4 interceptions, 2 of them pick sixes. It's spin the chamber. I am willing to say that you're going to get good Jameis this week because he stunk last week. So what we're going to do here is we're going to go over in this game.
Ooh.
The Washington football team, which I got to be honest, the name's kind of growing on me. I don't mind that name at all. I hope they keep it, actually. They're capable of putting up about 20, 23 points. I think if you get good Jameis, or at least Jameis that doesn't stink, you can cover this. We're going to go over on the Saints and Washington football team.
All right, Scott, how do you feel about that?
It's an interesting game in regards to gambling. I don't think it's a really particularly high-level game. A lot of people probably might not have interest in it. I think the Saints are actually a really good team. We're all still trying to measure. They had Drew Brees for so long. Mm-hmm. When you look at these ATS numbers from the past and you're like, but that's not with them. It's like we're looking at the Patriots and go, but that's not with Tom Brady. You have to learn. But like when you look at the Steelers, you're like, but that's a different Ben Roethlisberger. So what are we going to do here? I like the Saints. The Saints defense is one of the best in the NFL. I happen to think their coach is one of the top 3 or 4 in the NFL. The Redskins as a team from the past, right? Mm-hmm. That's not, right. We're not even supposed to say that.
We kept hearing about how great their defense was supposed to be this year.
Right, okay. The Washington football team, still the same mess they've always been. Same owner they always had. The FBI and the DEA showed up there this week. Did you hear about this?
No, I did not.
Yeah, nobody quite knows why. I guess maybe they are close. It's in Washington. Maybe they just were looking for like a special deal on season tickets. But you don't want the FBI and the DEA to show up and just you tell your team, just treat it like a normal one. So go with the upstanding city, New Orleans, which no one has ever said before until now.
Whoa.
Saints -2.5 for the Larceny Lock.
To left field, but I like it. All right, well, cheers, gentlemen. Nice.
You're telling me that D.C. is more debaucherous than New Orleans, and I agree with you. 100%, I agree with you.
They both have swamps. I don't know if you know that, but
they certainly do.
Said that.
Coming up next, we like to call it prop, lock, or drop it, and you're going to love it. It's next. Segment we like to call prop, lock, or drop it.
Prop, lock, or drop it.
We love it. Okay, so we're talking prop bets.
Yes.
Did you do your homework?
Oh, it's again.
It's a very high-tech way that he presents these. Okay, and I give the honor of,
Don't worry about where that's been.
I never do. And I always have hand sanitizer right over to the right. Okay, all right, let's dive right in. Okay, so we got Cincinnati QB. Okay, Joe Burrow over under 268.5 yards passing.
So Joey Burrow
268.5
has been playing some good football lately. The Colts are off today. This is my favorite game on the schedule. I love this Green Bay-Cincinnati matchup, and I think this could be the official coming out party of Joey Burrow to put him in the mix of the next level of elite quarterbacks. I love the way this kid plays the game. I think if Cincinnati is going to be competitive in this, which I think they will be, he's going to have to throw the ball around the yard a little bit. We're going to go over 268.5 yards passing. I like Joey Burrow in this spot.
Okay, so I like that a lot. Let's go on to Philly wide receiver. We got Dante Smith over under 4.5 receptions today.
So Devontae last week had a huge game. 7 catches, 122 plus yards. I don't feel confident that that's going to happen today. One, he's playing against a pretty decent defense. And number 2, I just have very little faith that Jalen Hurts is a guy that can get him the touches that he needs here. 4.5 seems too much for me, but I'm not going to touch this. I'm going to drop this one. This is a prop bet you should drop because even though it feels like it's a low number for a good receiver, it's a good defense, a bad quarterback, it's a trap.
So you're dropping it.
Dropping it.
Trap. All right, let's go into this one. Over on under, let's see, 1.5 passing TDs by Trevor Lawrence of Jacksonville.
Well, my esteemed colleague from Iowa here is all in on the Jags today.
I am praying that this one is over. I mean, praying.
I like the over as well in this one.
Oh, my goodness.
I think Trevor Lawrence, again, you look at the young quarterbacks in the AFC. Take this established stars already out of the picture, but look at some of the up-and-coming young guns here from Herbert with the Chargers and Joey Burrow with Cincinnati. And man, I really like what's going on here with Trevor Lawrence. I know his team stinks, but all the skills are there. We're going over 1.5 touchdowns. Is he going to throw some picks? Probably. That's what Trevor Lawrence does. That's what rookie quarterbacks do. But I like over 1.5 touchdowns by Trevor Lawrence today.
Since I'm really on the Jags today, can our producer send that clip to the, no, not that clip, the one with Urban Meyer and you to motivate the team to show that it was an innocent mistake and get those Jags coming out of the tunnel for a victory. And I love it, Trace.
All right,
Let's go.
Cool, cool. We'll be right back. We're going to head to the bar. Don't go anywhere.
Our NFL wise guy, Ryan Kramer of, what is that podcast called again?
The Sports Gambling Podcast, baby.
Yeah, and check it out. Now, what do you got going on this week for us?
You know, this is a week where there's a lot of interesting trends, a lot of interesting things going on. You're seeing teams that are very banged up, trying to avoid some of the noise. First game I'm going to take you to, Cleveland at the Chargers. Strange trend this year. Teams on the second of a back-to-back road spot are 12-2 against the spread. I think we might be overreacting to the home field advantage. Now you look at a team like the Chargers who don't really have a home field advantage. Not only that, coming off 2 massive divisional wins, they're now taking on the Browns, who are, get this, the #1 team in the National Football League in yards per play net. They average 5.9 on offense. They give up 4.5 on defense. That's 1.4 best in the NFL. I love taking the Browns here in a more contrarian spot. Grab the points.
I happen to love this one too. Just put it in your win column. It's already there. Let's find number 2. The man who's trying not to bring the noise, unlike Public Enemy. He's trying to avoid the noise. Ryan, what's number 2?
You know, this next pick, I've been doing well with the gross picks with you here, Scott, and I'm going to take you to a gross pick, a pick that is close to my heart, and that's the New York Football Giants finally looking like they can do something in the ultimate Jason Garrett revenge spot where he is coming back to Big D. He's going to show off the offensive weapons. I think it's disrespectful to see the Cowboys laying all these points and then sprinkle in the fact that Troy Aikman is saying that they're not in the same class as the Dallas Cowboys. Give me the Giants as the dog.
Here we go. Let's look for 2-0 this week. Ryan Kramer, once again, the Sports Gambling Podcast. Thanks again, Ryan.
Best of luck, Scott.
All right. I like that a lot, our wise guy. Okay, Hammer, getting back from the bar.
Yes.
It's been time to talk some Giants.
Why am I the only one that ever makes multiple trips to the bar in this show? You guys are really starting to make me feel like an outcast here.
We're just trying to keep up with you, buddy.
Well,
always.
This Giants game, I will leave to my esteemed colleague, Mr. Long. I want to talk about a game that I touched on a little bit earlier, and that is Cincinnati and Green Bay.
All right.
I love this game. This should be really fun. You've got Joe Burrow at home. The Bengals, are they 3-1 good? Probably not. But the Packers, they're pretty good. They laid an egg opening day, but ever since then, those who are ready to write Aaron Rodgers off, saying he doesn't care anymore, maybe we pump the brakes a little bit on that one. I think you see points today. I think you see some fun quarterback play. We're going to go over 50.5 on this one. This feels like a quarterback duel.
Wow, showing some love for Aaron Rodgers. I'm shocked by that.
Hey,
usually you dog him.
It's about the money.
What do you usually say? He looks like he's working where?
Well, he looks like the kind of guy that you'd see running the Wendy's Frosty machine. He doesn't talk to his family. He's a total weirdo, but the money is on the line here, and that's what it's all about here, cash money. We're going to ride the lightning here. We're going over 50 for I never talked to my mom and dad McGee.
That's pretty fair. All right, let's get to the Giants, Scott.
Oh, boy, I just hope the A-Rod's wearing a hairnet on that Frosty machine. Now, I'm not a guy who would need to. Giants, +7. Quickly just going to tell you, I love the Giants in this situation. I'm starting to kind of warm up to the Giants. 7 points is a lot. I know the Cowboys have become everybody's darling again. They're the Cowboys. They'll screw it up. They got Jerry Jones. They have everything that will always get in the way. I don't think their head coach is that good. I like the Giants to keep it close. Who knows? Very tight game. Take the Giants.
All right, taking the Giants. I like this. Well, guess what? When we come back, we're going to go downtown to the Wise Guy Lounge to see the pros make a wooden nickel. You don't want to miss it. Be right back.
On the Rocks is brought to you by Larceny Bourbon. It's so smooth, it's criminal.
Hello, friends. Brent Holverson here again, coming to you from Goodfellas Pizza, Wise Guys Lounge, the best hidden secret in Indianapolis, and coming to you with a treat today. We've got Brennan over here going to make the wooden nickel for us, and Mr. Bernie Lubbers, our global whiskey ambassador here from Heaven Hill. Bernie, welcome to Indianapolis, my friend.
Always good to be back. Always good to be on Mass Ave here at the great cocktail bar and bourbon bar here at Wise Guys Lounge. And Brendan's going to make a drink with the wooden nickel with Larceny Bourbon, one of my absolute favorites from Heaven Hill Distillery.
And this is a fun one as well, so we're actually going to use real fruit in it too. We got blueberries in there that we're going to muddle. We're going to have the Larceny, a little bit of lemon juice and some blue agave maple with some saline, allspice, and Havana and Hyde bitters, which basically gives it like a nice velvety texture to it.
Cool. And you know, Larceny Bourbon, we launched this brand back in 2012, and it is a bourbon that is based off of Old Fitzgerald, the heralded old bourbon that came to our distillery in 1999, and this is the small batch version of Old Fitzgerald. John E. Fitzgerald, as the story goes, he was a treasury agent who had held the keys of the distillery along with the master distiller, because they couldn't get into the distillery by themselves because, you know, they gotta check that's how the government made its money. And that's why the Larceny bottle is shaped like a lock and has a keyhole on the front of it, has keys around it, has John E. Fitzgerald's name on it, because he used to go into the rick houses and he would be known to kind of steal a little bit of whiskey out of the better tasting barrels that he liked. And so when a barrel shipped out of the distillery and it was lighter, the workers called it a Fitzgerald barrel. So he committed larceny, and so we steal some of the best old Fitzgerald barrels and we come up with Larceny. Because it has that juice in there, you shake it, right? Instead of stirring, it would just be all spirits.
Anything with lemon, lime, orange, grapefruit juice, those types of things should always be shaken. And if it's mainly a alcohol cocktail with like vermouth or just bourbon or whatever it may be, mainly spirits should be stirred.
Oh, look how that's affecting that smoke in that glass. This is another visually stunning drink that I'm sure that once people see you making this, 4 more come.
Maybe like 6 to 8.
Yeah, that.
And that's the wooden nickel.
There's definitely no smoke and mirrors here, just a little smoke. Oh, wow. Come check one of these out here at Wise Guys, and be sure to join us again soon for another edition of On the Rocks. Cheers.
Hey, cheers to that, and cheers with Larceny Bourbon. This stuff's delicious, eh, guys?
Right. It's so delicious, it's criminal. And you know what else is criminal? The amount of money that we're going to make today. It's legalized theft, and Mackenzie, get us started.
That's right. All right, I'm going to do my Mick pick. I am going with the Patriots -8 over the Texans. With Watson sitting out, Texans have nothing to offer the QB position. Also, Belichick coming off a loss, usually trouble for the opponent. And hello, let's talk Mac Jones, shall we? Dad bod McGee. Yes, the dude.
Come on.
How impressive.
On.
Last week, going head-to-head with Tom Brady. This kid, insane. Too many good things, for the Patriots' direction, not to take them here. So, -8 versus the Texans.
You're not hating on dad bods, right? I just want to make sure. Because if you are, 2/3 of this show is going to be very upset.
My favorite picture with Mac Jones is him with that dad bod actions with that stogie.
Oh, man, that was a beaut. That was in college, too. All right, so let's go to the big board here. I've always wanted to say that. We, specifically me, like the Ravens tomorrow. -6.5. Colt money's coming in. It's gone from 7 to 6.5. If you are a Ravens backer, the time to jump on this is right now. The Ravens usually cover at home. I just like the way that Lamar Jackson creates matchup problems for Indianapolis. I hate it, but I'm all about the money. We are going over 43.5. New Orleans and the Washington football team. Spin the chamber. You're hoping it's good Jameis Winston today. If it is, he could get that number by himself. If it's just average, you're going to need a little help from Washington. I think you get there. I like Kansas City tonight. Scott and I are going back and forth on this. -2.5. Vegas has finally caught on. No more big numbers for Kansas City, but at home in prime time, Patrick Mahomes usually plays his best when everybody's counting him out. I like the Chiefs here, -2.5 in this spot. That's a low number. And we're going over 50.5. Green Bay and Cincinnati, my favorite game of the day today. If you are not watching football, you're missing out. This is going to be a shootout. Let's go ride the over on this. Bears, +5.5. Too many points. I don't like the Bears, but I think the Raiders are frauds. I like Chicago against my better judgment here, getting 5.5 on the road in Vegas.
I don't like most of your picks this week. I'm just going to tell you right now.
Thank you.
I would lean towards the Colts. It's not an official bet. I actually like the Raiders in that game. And Saints, I do like the Saints in this game. You can see, I gave you all the reasons. You don't need anything extra. Let's move on to the next one. Can we do that? Here we go. Giants. Why am I picking the Giants? Giants are getting better. Cowboys, overrated. That's a lot of points in a division matchup. Take the Giants. Like the Browns and the Chargers under. Yes, they have the two big-name quarterbacks. They are both talented teams, but I think they're more defensive-oriented. Now, let's go down to Bills. That's like, I didn't like your pick with the Chiefs. I love getting points with the Bills. I don't think you're going to get points with the Bills maybe the rest of the season after today. Loving the Bills in that spot.
Nope.
And finally, that makes no sense at all. You know what? I'm not even going to stand by that pick. You see it on the screen. I'm not proud of it. It's kind of like that Urban Meyer sketch. You don't want to stand by it. I don't know if it's going to hold up well. But
you don't want to stand by Urban Meyer from what I've seen, but you're going to ride the lightning and take the Jags with the points.
All right, well, hey, we want to welcome to the party one of our brand new sponsors, Indiana Grand Racing and Casino, with our new segment, Run for the Money.
Run for the Money, brought to you by Indiana Grand Racing and Casino.
Hey guys, Racing Rachel from Indiana Grand back again to talk to you guys. We are definitely very excited to be a part of All Indiana Bets, and hopefully we can make you some money here at Indiana Grand. We do have a all-new sportsbook app that you can download. Be sure to look up Caesars Sportsbook, and we have here in Indiana, you can do up to $5,000 in risk-free betting. So be sure to download that, come on out, see the amazing sportsbook that we do have in the casino. It's got plush leather recliners, an entire wall of TVs. It's definitely somewhere that you want to check out and hang out if you're into betting. And also, coming up at the end of the month, definitely want to tell you guys we've got over $1 million in purses and a lot of great long shot opportunities on an all-stakes day on October 30th, which is Championship Day. So some of the best racing you definitely want to check out at Indiana Grand.
You certainly will. Thanks, Rachel. We will be right back.
All Indiana Bets is presented by LUNAZUL Tequila. Feed the wolf.
Another great time, another stellar show, making folks some money. That's how we do it.
Today is going to be the greatest night of our lives. We're going to win so much money. We're going to travel the world in the 7 seas and do all the things with the money you're going to win tonight.
I am going to try to find a Claude and Annie's that's open. I don't even know. I might have to go to, I don't know, Mooresville or something. But Twitter me, you know, at Scott Comedy or at Instagram.
Yes, and if you missed any part of the show, wishtv.com is the spot. You can watch our beautiful acting. That was one of the highlights of the show.
And you can watch the game here on Wish TV tomorrow.
That's
the
right.
home of Monday Night Football, the Colts, the Ravens.
Our team is there. Pre-game coverage starts at 4 p.m. and kickoff is at 8:15.
Team coverage all day, all night. Good luck, everybody. May the odds be ever in your favor. Cheers to winning a lot of money today. Let's go.
Cheers to making it rain.
See you Saturday
at
11.